Hey guys, this is Episode 15. Welcome to Let's Discuss The Walking Dead. This is for Season 4, Episode 6. This episode was completely about the governor. It basically started up where it ended off last season, where he basically shot everybody that came with him from Woodbury. Then he got in the truck and ran off, so with those two other guys. They kind of made the right call by just leaving him where he was, so. Because at that point, there was really nothing that they could do for him because he was just totally lost. I don't know about the fact that he went back to Woodbury and torched the place. Uh, I guess it was kind of a thing where he wanted to get rid of all of his past, but uh, I don't know if he should have just spent the time to actually go back there because it's not like Rick would have actually taken the group and moved into Woodbury. Of course, they might think about doing it now, but plus all the supplies would have been taken out of there. So I don't know why he just spent the time to go back there. Plus, the thing that was really weird to me was that as he was leaving, and the buildings were ablaze, there were a whole bunch of walkers that had come in. Um, and to me, eh, I don't know if I would have done it the same way if I was on the production staff because chances are, some of the walkers are probably going to be coming after him because he is a source of food. So I don't think that he'd just be standing there watching it. So, um, but I do kind of like the transformation that they did, where he basically just became a zombie himself, where he was just walking around from place to place, not bothering to cut his hair or shape his face or anything, and of course not bothering to change his clothes. So, not that he would have had the opportunity to do so, but and I do like the fact that when that walker came at him on the street, just by instinct he moved out of the way. So, um, I think it was better that they did it that way, other than him like intentionally move out of the way, because for the state of mind that his character was supposedly in, it really wouldn't have fit. So, and the family that was upstairs in that one apartment building, I am surprised that they really hadn't left. I don't know if they really would have left if their dad had died. Granted, if he would have turned into a walker himself, they probably would have died anyway. So, um, but yeah, you would kind of think that once food started to be scarce, you might want to think about taking off, but apparently they had enough food where they could waste a can of SpaghettiOs on the governor there. So it was really nice of him to actually go up and get that backgammon board. He could have just said, hey, screw it, and just not gone up there, but yeah, he did. So he found that one guy that was lying in the bathtub. I don't know exactly what happened. Did he shoot and he missed his face? Did he just hit part of it, or what? So, because it looked like he shot himself in the head, but apparently it didn't work. So, um, who knows? Maybe it was like a Robespierre thing back during the French Revolution, where he tried to shoot himself in the head and just shot himself in the jaw and broke his jaw. So, um, and bled out that way. So, the other thing is, how did that guy even get up to one of the higher floors? Like, must have been floor like 5 or 6 or whatever. I can't remember if they mentioned it during the episode or not, but I'm kind of wondering how he got up there in a wheelchair because it did not look like the place had any elevators. Um, maybe it did kind of what would be considered the midway point of like the floor or whatever, but all I saw were stairs. So um, because I thought that it was probably the apartment of like Lily and Megan, but it might have been like the apartment of the grandfather, and he was just living in an assisted living home or something. So um, I'm a little surprised that he actually decided to go over to get the oxygen tank from a um, I don't know if that was in a assisted living home or if it was like a nursing home or whatever, but yeah, I'm really surprised that he took time out of his life to actually go over there. I know he really didn't have anything better to do, but um, yeah, just kind of surprising that he actually decided to show that much compassion for basically people he just met. And when the grandpa finally did die and turned to walker zombie, whatever, I'm surprised that the governor hit him that hard with the oxygen tank. I know he would have had him hit him really hard actually to stop the walker and stuff. Considering he just freshly died, but still, I don't know how he could have done that. Uh, because I'm thinking that the skull could actually take that much pounding without breaking that much. I don't know. Maybe he was able to drive like his nose into his brain or something and stop him that way. So, um, but yeah, I think an oxygen tank would probably be like one of those things that you would really not want to use on a walker or whatever. Too bad he didn't have a hammer. I'm surprised that they actually took that van with them, because you know that thing has got to get really bad gas mileage. Plus, I wonder how long it took them to actually get it to start. Because if you've ever tried to cold start a car, it's been sitting for like a year and a half, something like that. It's definitely not going to start right away. So, um, I kind of wonder if they kind of had to manipulate it for like 5 or 10 minutes before they could actually get to start, or if they were able to like hook up some batteries and kind of jolt it that way or whatever. So, um, plus, you do got to consider that thing has got to have like only about maybe a quarter of a tank, half a tank, something like that, because of course a lot of gasoline is just gonna evaporate out of there that's been sitting in there for a while. So even if you did basically crash with the full tank. So lastly, I want to talk about the walker pit that he and Megan fell into at the very end of the episode. Holy crap, that was violent. I mean, just nonsensical stuff that the governor was doing, like actually ripping the throat out of that one walker when he knew that was really not going to do anything but just kind of an emotional response. Plus, the way he actually took out that walker was just amazing. Um, Not only from a storyline point, but also from a visual effects point. Where basically he took a femur that was down there, um, put it inside the walker's mouth and pulled up, ripping the top of his head off. Wow. I saw that and I was like just amazed that they pulled that thing off. Um, but it does make you think a little bit about what's going to be happening in the next episode. Because it kind of looks like the governor is alone outside the prison. Um, I'm thinking to myself that there's two possible things that might be going on. One, the new group that he's come across. They are basically the same group that was um, in the end of near the end of season two. The one that was shooting at Rick and Herschel and Glenn in that bar. I'm kind of wondering if some of those people are the same people that were in that group. The one that lost those two people actually inside the bar, and the one guy outside the bar that was shot in the leg that was eventually eaten by walkers. Um, and shoot, I forgot his name. That one guy that had the spike trap or spike thing like that went through his knee or whatever. And of course, eventually Shane got him and broke his neck, and that's how they kind of figured out that once you actually die, unless your brain is destroyed, then you come back as a walker or that kind of thing. Or if maybe what happens is that everybody basically in the group dies. Well, in that group that the governor is in, they die. Megan is kind of left alive. She is the one that sees Tara and Lily basically eaten right in front of her, and the governor picks her up and carries her out of the way, that kind of thing. Basically, at that point, she kind of dies inside. And then, basically because the governor is the only thing that she has left, she's kind of planted to actually be somebody that's inside the prison. And she is the person that comes out every once in a while and, feeds rats to the walkers, just kind of lure them over to one part of the fence in particular. And that's kind of what I'm wondering is maybe she is the plant and not Bob. So to me that would kind of make more sense at this point. But who knows? Both those things might be wrong, proved wrong in the next episode. So. Anyways, that's about it for this recording session. So I'm going to sign off for now. This is episode 15. You've been watching Let's Discuss The Walking Dead. This has been for season 4, episode 6. So I will see you next week for episode 7.